Building a business empire all starts with a dream. That is the power of entrepreneurship. Hello beautiful viewers, you're welcome to this edition of Managing Africa. I am Nadine Mebune. With the increase and need to financial services like insurance, savings, microcredits and loans, I am pleased to let you know that there is now a solution at Zito Financial. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as we welcome on board Esame Mondoa. He is the founder and CEO of Zito Financial. Zito Financial is a Cameroonian-based fintech company and a Category 1 microfinance institution. Zito Financial is a Cameroon-based fintech company that was founded in 2015 with goal to make banking and finance better, using technology to create improved customer experiences and bring more financial clarity. Zito Financial leverages existing systems and solutions to provide financial access to the unbanked, the underbanked, informal sector, and rural population. The company has established partnerships with other fintech and payment institutions in Cameroon. Zito Financial runs Zito Pay, Zito Card, and gives Cameroon an online fundraising platform for individuals and organizations. Winner of 2021 Victoria International Media Merit Award, a fast-growing fintech institution that supports businesses in Cameroon with the growth of their activities by accompanying them in the digitalization of their distribution channels. In an ecosystem where cash remains the preferred medium for financial exchanges, Zito Financial provides solutions that offers new businesses opportunities that are more efficient and secure. It is a pleasure to have you on board, Esame Mondoa.
Right, thank you, Nadine.
So tell us, why did you decide to create Zito Financial?
In 2014, I was lucky to start traveling around Cameroon.
And I reached the far north. Then I asked them that why don't you use a bank? And this is what one lady said to me. It doesn't go with our faith. Their faith does not allow them to use a bank. So when I came back now to Southwest, I started looking at with their faith. That's when I started understanding that Islamic banking is a whole concept on its own, separate from a conventional banking system. So in 2015, I decided to build a team together. Let's do something about it. Let's provide financial services. Let's work to financial inclusion. This means let's provide financial services to the 90% community, the informal sector in Cameroon. The people who fall within the informal sector are mostly petty traders, buy and sellers, people in agriculture, self-employed. They all don't have a formal structure, a very formal structure of business, which means they don't have access to a lot of financial services like loans and microcredits and insurance. So it keeps them in a particular loop. So with that in mind, we took it upon ourselves saying we would work with the rural community. Zito Financial, we will set up a fintech company using the power of technology to provide financial access and financial solutions to these 40% of Cameroonians who are in the rural areas and 50% who are in the, and 50% more who fall within the informal sector of Cameroon also.
That's interesting. May I know what your motivation has been so far? What motivates you?
Yes, my motivation really is because I got in as an entrepreneur also. So I got to see a lot of pitfalls and a lot of limitations people have when they don't have access to finance. Most people don't understand the role financial institutions play in a community, but they play the most vital role. When you come to poverty elevation, when it comes to about breaking the poverty cycle, actually in Zito Financial we have created a concept called the poverty matrix, where people get stuck in that system forever. When you come to understand these concepts, when you understand, like, let me explain the poverty matrix. First, you need to understand their levels of poverty. There is not a fixed point, say, she is poor, he is poor, or not. There are levels of poverty. There are people who are in Cameroon, households, which don't get up to 100,000 a year in income. While there are households who don't get more than 500,000 a year in income. Those are all different levels of poverty. If you have 2 kids and you're making less than 100,000 a year or 100,000 a year, there is literally no way the standard of living will not be impacted. Because when it comes to shelter, You will not be able to afford a good accommodation. You will not be able to build a house on that income. And that's the beginning of the problem. Because when you don't stay in, if you don't live in a good environment, what happens is you don't have access to good water. You don't have access to good food, balanced diet. And you work from morning to night doing menial jobs in order to meet up. Now, when you don't eat very well, you don't drink good water, you don't live in a comfortable house, you're bound to fall sick. When you fall sick, you don't work. So what happens is you go to your local, jangi group, let me say that, your local thrift and loan savings groups, and take out a loan from there. A loan you have to pay back with money you don't have. When you feel better, now you are no more working just to feed the house, but rather you're working now to pay back a loan of money you consumed when you were not able to work while you were sick. In other words, it keeps on going like that and you're stuck within that cycle. That is the poverty matrix. That means the people remain poor, not just because they are lazy, not because they don't have, not because they want to be poor, but because the factors, the different elements around them are making sure they remain poor. So Zito Financial said we will do something about that. That means let's insert ourselves into these communities. Let us come into these communities using the power of technology and solve their problem. So we started providing services now like health insurance. We partnered with health insurance, with insurance companies in Cameroon and created an insurance policy that makes sure that we are able to cover them. If they are a member of our institution, we're able to cover them and provide them basic healthcare services like fight against typhoid, malaria, those common ailments which are around us. Now, if when you fall sick, it's been taken care of, then that means you have enough time to work. Yes. Now, people in these communities also come to us with different ideas. Like Barambikang, where we started in Kumba in 2015, Barambikang was our test area. Within Barambikang, there were people who came to us and all they wanted was a loan of 30,000 francs. They didn't want 100,000, they wanted 30,000 francs. And when you ask, what do you want to do 30,000 francs? They tell you, I want to start a pop-up and beans business. I've done my maths, I'll have to buy a bag of flour, I'll have to buy this, I'll have to buy this in order to get access to able to start that business. So now the question is, do you have a house? No. What form of security can you provide? That's when you start seeing them having no answers to give. Because of what? They are poor, they have no access. This is not to say the incumbent institutions, conventional bank institutions are not serving them. Remember that financial institutions work with a tight regulation imposed by the government to make sure that deposits are protected. A depositor's savings must be protected. That means they need a form of security before you can get access to a product like loans. But most Cameroonians in the rural communities don't have access. So we decided to use technology and come up with a very strong algorithm and underwriting process that knows how to measure the risk associated with giving out credit to people like that.
Let's look at the structure of Zito Financial. What is the number of your team? How many of you are working?
Yes, actively, we work in Zito Financial. We're 6 of us working actively. But within our community and our network of distributors, since we have distribution network, we're altogether 250.
That's interesting. Now, how does Zito Financial impact the community? I mean, you've said a lot already, but I want you to really point this out. How does the goal of your enterprise affect the community? What are the impacts?
It's for actually, because we are targeting our community base first, that's one of the reasons why we set up a cooperative. We decided to become a Category 1 microfinance because we want to be community based. We want to go back to our community. Now, poverty elevation is the goal of cooperatives in Cameroon. It identifies with what we are trying to do. We are trying to break people from what I described as the poverty matrix. So we have decided at Zito Financial, we came into this community, we're going into these communities and asking them what they need. Most of them have told us how they need startup capital. They need startup capital, which are small amounts actually, which fall within our microcredit range, to start up small petty trades. When now they can provide, when they can start providing food for their families, they can start providing food for their families, they can start affording clean and good water.
How does Zito Financial contribute to the development of the society?
Like we stated in our mission statement, Zito Financial's goal is financial inclusion. That means our primary goal, our reason for existence, is to make sure that every Cameroonian has access to these financial services. And we are targeting people in the rural communities who are small, who are trapped within a same ring of poverty, poverty metrics. They're trapped within that ring. We are coming to break it by giving them access to these services. We did not just develop banking services by following what other banks did. Rather, we went ahead and studied all the different banking systems of the different people in Cameroon. And in Cameroon, when it comes to religion-based banking, we have our conventional banking, which Christians and every other person can use. And we have the Islamic banking system, which follows the Sharia law. It's fully Sharia compliant. That means Muslims don't need to use banks just like we use. Okay. In Sharia law, first you must understand is that they forbid riba. Riba is what is translated to usury, interest. They don't do that. So we took out one of their products and created it for ourselves called Murahaba. In this product, we give you credit. But rather than you giving us interest on that credit, we share profit. That means Zito Financial is not just giving you money, we're actually becoming your partner. We work with you on that journey. We handle the financial aspect. So we train them. We train them now into business management. Actually, we have in Limbe currently more than 50 corporators who are undergoing entrepreneurial training. I'm talking of people whom their literacy level is not the best. They can read, but not that well. We are now training them on how to manage business sustainably, how to be able to do that. At the end of this program, all of them will be given micro loans. And now we work with them on a daily basis to make sure that they set up these businesses. Some of them are businesses actually to sell firewood. We have 2 of them who want to sell firewood at Manawobe and Mabeta. Those are villages and communities in Limbe 3 subdivision. We have other ones who are fisher. People want to buy fishing nets. We have some for pop-up and beans business, and we have some who want to increase the capital in the provision store businesses. So we are not coming and saying, oh, you would have to give us 2%, you have to give us 1% or 0.5% interest on this amount we're giving you, because we know very well that you don't have it. But if we work with you, your business will skyrocket, your business will grow. And then it will be profitable to the community, because when there is one developed business in a community, the whole community benefits. What happens when there are 50 developed business in that community? The whole community sees major impact. So we're training them now, and we'll give them this credit. Then we work with them on managing their business, make them to understand how to read like what is income, understand what their income is, understand what is capital, understand what revenue is. Actually, until when I started Zito Financial, I never even knew what revenue was. I was confusing revenue from income, thinking that, hey, the amount of revenue is too high. I not realized that wasn't what revenue was. These people in these communities have been doing businesses for a long time. The difference is, we are coming now to make you understand that there is a way you can do this business and build a mansion. There is a way you can do this business by starting small and understanding that it's a business. Most of them, when they make 5,000 francs in a month, if they make 5,000 francs a week, that same week, they spend 5,000 francs. Because they don't understand. Remember, they're living hand to mouth. So we are not just going about giving credit to people or bringing them to save with us and promote good saving habits. But we are also going into educating the community about what financial intelligence is. Everybody needs to understand how to handle money and what money is. You make a post on social media, they'll tell you, someone will say, if you give a rich man 1,000 francs, he will bring you back 10,000 francs. If you give a poor man 1,000 francs, he will bring you an iPhone. Those are jokes that people make those jokes. But the thing is, you are not dealing with robots. We are not computers. People in the rural areas and the informal sector and the Cameroonians are not robots. We have problems. We have needs. So it's a psychological problem. When you look at a case like that, it is a psychological problem. That's why they do things like this.
I would like to find out, because you mentioned that you go into businesses with these small starters. It's definitely not an easy task, given that most of them are not used to the services you are trying to introduce them to, right? So what are some of the problems you face in the course of achieving this purpose?
The main problem we face at times is understanding. Because of low education rates and their low literacy levels, we have a lot of problem communicating with them effectively what we are doing. Because you're trying to explain revenue to someone who can't read. It's really, really a problem. Yes, but in that part, Zito Financial has a lot to do in our education. So we partnered with a lot of non-profits working within Limbe subdivision for now, who have started adult literacy programs, homes job are going into our communities and working to give these people at least a good or intermediary level of literacy. This will help our mission, but as of now, we try our best to communicate with them. And like I said, these people have been doing business for long. We are just teaching them how to do a sustainable business, something which can be scaled, because most of them don't scale businesses. If you go to your local community, the woman who was selling pop-up and beans there is still selling pop-up and beans now. They do it till they die. They never scale.
Where do you see Zito Financial within the next 5 years?
Because technology is our primary tool, it's a primary, how should I put it, weapon in our arsenal. We are seeing by 2025, we're hoping that Zito Financial should become the first full access neobank in CEMAC. Neobank, that means it will be a completely digital bank. That means people will be able to access all these services from their mobile phones.
How do you intend to achieve that?
Zito Financial has like the microfinance, our category 1 microfinance. We have a mobile application. Currently, based on your saving habit, with our partnership with MTN, Orange, UBA Bank, Express Union, and other financial institutions in Cameroon, it allows our application for them to be able to save and withdraw from their savings using mobile money. We also have a partnership with UBA, which allowed us to offer prepaid cards to our corporators. They can also withdraw through their prepaid cards. Now, from the mobile app, based on your saving habit, our system is learning. It keeps learning from your habits. It keeps learning on what you're spending on. With this information, it creates a portfolio and says, you are eligible for a loan. You are eligible for a loan of 5,000 francs. You are eligible for a loan for 20,000 francs, depending on your habit. Remember that the government is working on digitalizing payments in Cameroon. And Cameroon has seen a lot of growth now in the financial space, in digitalization of currency. Mobile money penetration has achieved more than 78% in Cameroon. So mobile money is already existing. So they already understand what it means to use digital currency. We have already developed some products which have added value to these mobile money services which our proprietors have already created, like our Zito Pay payment product. Rather than you dialing several USSD codes to make a payment with mobile money, with our Zito Pay infrastructure, you're able to make payments instantly.
How do you plan to expand? What are your expansion plans so far?
Yes, currently now we operate in the Southwest primarily, although we have a lot of users using our online services. We're scaling gradually because what we are developing, remember, we have a guideline we are following. We cannot push victory too fast, or we cannot push our technology too fast when we don't yet understand certain parts of the market. But as of now, our goal is by the end of this year, Zito Financial should fully establish in all 10 regions of Cameroon and have not less than 10,000 members as part of our institution. In order to achieve that, we need actors, we need leaders to join us. Because remember, it's a community. So it's not about me promoting a company or our staff or our different investors or our different partners. It's everybody doing their part. That means we're inviting everybody. I'm inviting you to join us also and play your role. We're not asking for anybody to come and join Zito Financial and give money to us or anything. But the thing is, everybody has something they can offer to the community. Everyone has a role to play in the community. We're inviting this community to come and let's work together. Let's see how we can make Cameroon the nation we know it is.
So Zito Financial intends to conquer Cameroon and the CEMAC. And at the moment, do you think the services you have are enough to meet with these goals?
I will not say they are enough, but we're up to around 80%. Like now, we are in the scaling stage. What we require now is to scale. We have tested our products. We have tested them for years. Our payment gateway has been tested for 2 years now. Our credit cards solution, which recharges prepaid Visa cards online, has been tested since 2018. So we have been testing these solutions for years already. Our model works. Now it's just about scaling and growth. And like I said, we need the community to do that.
What do you need to be able to achieve all these expansion plans that you have?
We are a financial institution, remember. That means liquidity is our goal. We cannot penetrate these markets without providing the services. Our services allow people to pay bills online. But in order for us to be able to pay bills online, we need money for those partnerships. We're lucky to have a partnership with Mavians Cameroon, which gave us access to their system, SmallBPay, which allows us to integrate directly to pay bill payments, like NAO, Camwater, Canal Plus. You can pay your bills now with our services from Mavians. But in order to scale up, money is still needed, because other financial services, auxiliary services like microcredits, which is a product 100% of Zito Financial. We can give only as much credit as liquidity we have. So we need to increase our liquidity. Our target is the informal sector primarily. Our primary targets are the underbanked and the unbanked. People who don't have access to bank accounts, or people who have access to bank but without access to the full banking services.
How can these people get to you? How can they have access to, how can they become a subscriber to Zito Financial?
Yes, it will depend on your specific needs. Like I said, we have products that are tailored for a vast array of needs. So it will depend on your specific needs. If you're someone who wants to be wants online payment, you want to be able to pay online, you want to be able to receive make payments online, then we have a product called Zito Card. That's possible with our partnership with UBA Bank, which is a prepaid Visa card, which you can recharge with mobile money and use it instantly. Zito Card has a mobile app, Zito Pay. All our services are actually online, fully digital. All you need to do is visit Facebook and search for Zito Financial, or Google the name Zito Financial, or visit one of our partners or our offices. We have an office in Newtown, Manga Williams Avenue, Newtown, Limbe, and we have an office at Tad Malingo in Boya, and Barambikang in Kumba. Those are our 3 offices.
Are you employing?
Yes, Zito Financial is actually recruiting in Limbe now. We're recruiting a team of marketers and daily collectors to work with the cooperative.
That's beautiful to know. What I want to find out from you next is, what is your advice to entrepreneurs?
If I want to give advice to my fellow entrepreneurs is, before you begin your entrepreneurial journey, before you start any entrepreneurial project, find your fuel. A vehicle cannot move without fuel. And when fuel gets finished, the vehicle stops. Find your fuel. What I mean by that is, ask yourself the question, why am I doing this? Why do I want to do this? Why is it necessary for me to do this? Ask yourself. If fame is what you're looking for, it's a good thing. If fame is your goal, that's okay. If riches is your goal, that's okay. Building your community, everyone has separate goals. You're allowed to have your specific goals which are tailored to your needs and your ambition. But what I'm saying is, identify it from the beginning, because a lot of people will tell you no. In 2015 in Kumba, I cannot forget that day when I told people that our system will recharge prepaid Visa cards online. More than 100 people, all of them gave me negative feedback and told me it will never work, not in Cameroon. And today now they're trying to model my system. We have people creating their own version of what I'm building already, because they have discovered it will work. Let them not give up. Let them find what is driving them and hold that drive, because they're going to receive a lot of criticism. They're going to receive a lot of naysayers. A lot of people will tell you how it's not going to work. It's never going to work. You see, I will quote Les Brown. Les Brown said the only reason people don't see this, they don't see your vision, is because God did not give them that vision. It was given to you. That means they can't see it.
That's beautiful.
So I use statements like that. That's how I remember when people tell me no, it will not work. I will smile and say, yeah, it will not work until I make it work. Being an innovator, being an entrepreneur means you're working with a huge amount of uncertainty. That means your fuel, your passion is the only thing that will see you through. Entrepreneurs burn out every day. You see, a lot of people tell you, avoid burnout, avoid burnout. That's a lie. Entrepreneurs burn out daily. So all you need to do is, I'll quote Les Brown again, make sure when you fall on your back. Because if you can look up, then you can wake up.
Thank you very much. It has been a great time having you on set on board Managing Africa. Thank you for sharing your thought with us, and thank you for telling us everything that you do on Zito Financial. So televiewers, you heard it all from Esame Mondoa. He is asking you not to quit. He is telling you to continue believing in yourself, because not everybody will believe in you. And he has given a series of quotes that we should live by. Very interesting. Thank you again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what has brought us to the end of this edition of Managing Africa. As you know, we bring innovative and solution-based businesses to the limelight, and we do not only connect them to their investors but to other stakeholders. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us because we have more interesting guests coming up on our subsequent editions. Meantime, have a lovely day and stay safe.